list of 6 teams they believe, 1 through 6, who should be in the playoff. And whoever has the highest total for the 6 teams that have the highest number of ballots cast for them and their names appearing, those 6 go in.
Because you know what? If the SEC got a bunch of love in a 16-team playoff, I mean, honestly, with the way everything has played out, I can't sit here and tell you that 16 teams that Georgia doesn't deserve to be in, that Auburn doesn't deserve to be in. I don't think Florida does.
I don't think Notre Dame does.
I don't think Notre Dame does either. And not just because they don't have a conference.
Shit.
I don't think Notre Dame is that good.
No, I don't either. I've been saying this for fucking years. Fuck, I'll tell anybody who's willing to listen to that.
But personally, I think 16 is the way to go. And anyone who says that's too many teams, that'll never work. It worked at every other level of football to the point where they decided to expand it as well. The FCS is up to 32 teams now.
Yeah. 16 teams would work. I mean, given how long the bowl schedule is anyway, and it's not like these sponsors have to lose out on bowls. Give the fucking sponsors different fucking games.
Right, so like I don't know how the obvious thing to do would be if you do 16 teams, 2 sets of 8. 1 versus 8 in each side, 2 versus 7, 3, 6, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Unless you want to do 116, 2,
I mean,
15.
I would do it that way. I mean, but I would just have... I would do neutral site when you get to the 8. I think the higher ranking seed should play a home game in the first round. Neutral site, 8 going forward.
Or just all sorts of fucking bedlam. You pick the 4 teams that you think are the 4 best, and they draw their opponents. The rest, they come up, draw out of a hat. All right, this is...
I mean, you could
Coach
do that,
James. This is Coach James Franklin for Penn State, and he pulls out of the hat Kirby Smart from Georgia. Penn State versus Georgia's the bowl game. Like, just random fucking drawings.
I mean, you're talking about when it gets to... I think that just creates absolute chaos.
Because then you could get like such crazy matchups like obviously don't put the top 4 teams against each other. You want to save that.
Yeah.
Don't let Alabama, LSU, Ohio State, and either Penn State or Clemson play against each other. But let them draw first. And then if you happen to get Michigan versus Iowa, you get Michigan versus Iowa. If you get fucking Troy versus Central Michigan, there's your Cherry Booney Tart Cherry Boca Raton Bowl. Congratulations, guys.
That's what you guys get.
There's your Bad Boy Mowers Gasparilla Bowl. Like, whatever these dumbass fucking name bowls are, the Idaho Famous Potato Bowl. Whatever you want it to be. And congratulations to whoever finishes with the number 1 overall seed. Your first game, you're in fucking Hawaii. See, don't make that a bad thing. Congratulations. You get to go to Hawaii, motherfuckers.
I mean, I guess you could do that, but I don't know how much teams want to travel to fucking Hawaii to play 1 game in a week and then have to come back. That's a lot of fucking travel hassle.
Or, okay, you have, these are the locations, all right? We'll just make the argument that at the end of the season, Ohio State is still number 1 in the ranking. Ohio State picks, and they play Central Michigan. These are the locations. Where do you want to play? You pick your bowl game.
I mean, you could make that happen. I think the easiest thing is to take the top, 8.
To just assign that 1 versus 8 is going to be here, 2 versus 7 here.
Yeah, those will be the bowls. And when it comes down to the final 4 that are in there, that can rotate around between the major ones that normally get it. But
once you get to the final 8 teams, or the final final 8 teams, so the second round, you can get to like the Fiesta Bowl, you can get to the Cotton Bowl, and all the like
Rose
semi-major bowls, and then get to the big
yeah.
ones. Then you get to the Orange Bowl, Peach Bowl, Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl, whatever you want your championship to be.
Yeah, I agree with that more or less being like, because if you're one of the top eight teams in the country, which would mostly end up being teams that won their championship. Congratulations, you get a home game in the first to make it easier. But again, we've seen teams lose at home before, so it's not like upsets aren't potentially here. At that point, a 16 should have a chance against a 1. Unless that 1 is just dominantly better. But
I don't
should
see
have a
it.
chance.
I don't see any team that would end up being a 16 beating any of the top 8, though. But they deserve that chance to get walloped.
Boise State beat Oklahoma, and Oklahoma was super highly ranked that year. And Boise State, Statue of Liberty, them to lose.
Look, fucking hook and ladder, then Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, one of the greatest finishes of college football history.
It is. You're right.
I mean, this is also something that we can debate and play around with to have this debate going forward, because I think we're a long way off from. I think, unfortunately, we're
still have 4 years.
8, but 16 seems a long way off, knowing the stubbornness of the NCAA.
This is what, the 6th year of the playoff?
Yeah.
So after this year, there's still 4 on that initial 10-year deal that they wanted to do. Then it's probably going to move to 6. Which is still fucking frustrating.
I think they should evaluate it, and it should at least become 8 at that point. But
yeah,
maybe it will be 6. I don't know.
Honestly, I would be in favor. I'm sorry, O'Shea. What were you saying?
They should just go to 16. It's so annoying. And you're right. That's exactly how they're going to do it, is just like these annoying little steps to make it more painful for everybody. If they would just go to 16, like, just get over whatever this is, because who doesn't want an expanded playoff that is a fan? And that's who they need to really be catering to, is the fans.
I'll tell you who doesn't want a 16-team playoff. Teams like Alabama, Ohio State, LSU, and Penn State this year. They want it to be 4 because they have a better chance of winning 2 games than they do 4.
Yeah, well, you know what? If you
you still have to win all those games to stay in that top ranking, though.
Right.
And then if you're going into a 16-team playoff and you're already in this top 4, it's not like your first matchups are going to be significantly more difficult than your matchups would be in the regular season if you're playing, a decent season, not a cupcake schedule.
Right, and this would eliminate the issue of a cupcake schedule, because then teams would be less afraid to schedule Alabama, because guess what? Your overall record barely fucking matters. Your conference record is what counts.
Right.
The out of conference would just be to like, oh, so we see that you, Alabama, scheduled TCU, and you scheduled give me some other random good team. Go to like Memphis. You scheduled Memphis. You scheduled TCU. Sucks to be you, Clemson. You scheduled Wofford, and you scheduled fucking UAB. Like, they have a better strength of schedule. They're going to be the higher seed in the playoff. Like, use that to determine and use that to incentivize the playoff seeding. Not to penalize teams who decide to play a tougher game and, just squeaks out that loss, Like, I don't think out of conference really should matter too much.
No, it shouldn't. But, I mean, for teams that are potentially know they may not win their conference, but it gives them more incentive to schedule teams that may be higher up in other conferences to boost their resume, to make them more appealing to people to vote them in.
I also think you should look at when the scheduling of the games was created, what the 2 teams' rankings were. Because when Alabama scheduled Louisville last year, Louisville fucking sucked. But when they scheduled that home and home against Louisville, Alabama was ranked in the top 5. Louisville was in the top 10. So they were scheduling a team that they thought would be a good out-of-conference game, and it just happened to be an absolute shit show because Louisville sucked.
Well,
it's no fault to Alabama.
That's a gamble that you're going to take anyway, almost at any time. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Right. So we should be moving on because
let's get back to what is this year's top 25. because our fantasies are not reality.
All right, so number 20, Cincinnati. Number 19, Wake Forest. Number 18, Iowa. Number 17, Minnesota. And I think the team that I have the biggest problem with where they are, number 16, Kansas State. I get it, Kansas State, you beat Oklahoma. Congrats, it's a great fucking win for you. You're still not a great football team. Why are you ahead of Memphis? Why are you ahead of Cincinnati?
Why are you ahead of Minnesota, who's undefeated in the Big Ten?
Yeah.
Well,
Why is nobody
the
doing
argument
that to them?
the argument for why Iowa and Michigan would be is because this is something that I've been going back and forth with. Michigan and Iowa deserve to be ranked right where they are because they've played the tougher games in the Big Ten so far.
I get that, but still, Minnesota is undefeated. Kansas State is not.
Right.
So Minnesota, in theory, should be at least where Kansas State is, and Kansas State should be where Minnesota is.
Kansas State should be where Memphis is. Memphis should be.
Yeah, probably. I mean, and even Cincinnati, they're one loss to what the committee dubbed the best team in the country. And quite frankly, the Cincinnati game might be Ohio State's closest fucking game this year.
And they still blew them out.
Yeah, but that might have been their closest game.
I think you're going to see their closest game next week.
Obviously.
Yeah.
No, not next week. Absolutely not next week. Next week we play fucking Rutgers. That's not happening.
No, you play Maryland this week and then Penn State next week.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. You go ahead and you fucking look it up.
Am I wrong?
You are definitely wrong. I know. And the reason I know is because I was happy because I'm on call next weekend.
Shit, you're right. You're right. Oh, goody.
Don't sleep on Rutgers, man. Don't sleep on Rutgers.
Oh, shut up.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, mark my words, 5 years, Rutgers will be bowl eligible.
That's
maybe.
adorable.
They might get 8 wins.
2024 Rutgers.
They're going to be a hair step above shit, huh?
They might get 8 wins. Do you know why that is? Greg Schiano's going back.
No.
And as much of a scumbag as Greg Schiano is, he's a good fucking coach.
Yeah, he might be bowl eligible. You see who Ohio State got as a recruit to commit this
Who?
week? Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh, motherfucker.
The son of Marvin Harrison.
Damn it. Although I don't care about the fucking recruits.
No, I don't care about the recruits because they end up bouncing around, but I'll fucking take it if he comes.
Yeah.
I'll fucking take that wide receiver all day.
But anyways, Kansas State at 16 I think is a farce.
No.
Minnesota should be... I think Minnesota should probably be about 12, 13-ish, maybe.
I
understand them not being that
I would have
high.
put them at 14 or 15, but...
Notre Dame should be like barely in the top 25.
Yeah.
Michigan should barely be in the top 25.
No, Michigan's got some legitimate reason why they're still in the top 25. They smacked fucking number 8 Notre Dame. So that right there is a very high quality win.
Yeah, but Notre Dame's bad.
Yeah, but
USC almost beat them.
Notre Dame shouldn't be where they are. That's the problem that I have
Notre
with some of
Dame
these.
could be in the first, at most in the 25-20 range.
They almost got beat by USC.
Yeah.
USC's a shit show this year.
Listen, I want Notre Dame to win the rest of their games.
Why?
Because then that means that
Why?
Michigan win over Notre Dame was a great win, and then Penn State's win over Michigan looks that much stronger.
Fine.
Why are you defending Notre Dame?
I don't like your logic, but I'll accept it.
And when you guys beat Michigan, it'll make your win look even stronger too.
Not in my eyes, because Notre Dame is shit. They get by because they have gold helmets, and there's something about fucking tradition there.
Yeah.
Or some shit. I don't know. Sometime some fucking kid fucking from the practice squad made the team and got a tackle. I don't know. There was a whole fucking movie about it.
Ohio State might hang a Honda on Michigan this year.
They might. They might. Chase Young might get 3 touchdowns himself.
I hope they do. I really hope they do.
Although Ryan Day would get in a lot of trouble if they did that because this is a fucking soft ass culture these days.
Fuck that. Run it up.
You heard about the Long Island coach who got suspended?
I heard about it. I'm not gonna. Fuck that. They know who they are. They know our history. They can go fuck themselves if they think we're taking it easy.
I think, just real quick, I know it's a tangent. Long Island head coach got suspended because they beat a team by more than 42 points and didn't have a good explanation as to why. Here's the